Okay. What is going on, people? I don't know why the theme song did not play, but it is what it is. What is going on, people? Happy Sunday to everyone, wherever you are. Um, I'm happy today. I'm happy today, but that's only because a certain team chose not to inflict. Well, not that they didn't, not that they chose not to inflict total sadness on me. They just couldn't. If we're being fair. But you know, welcome to another edition of the Footy Fantasy Podcast. Comes to you live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Chucky is joining us from the West Coast. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah. So. My brother, I see the glory of the Lord shining all over you today.
Yeah, it's a good Sunday. I mean, there's no blood on the floor, so.
Exactly. No blood on the dance floor.
Exactly. Yeah. There was no red wedding today, All what's going on, bro? I see you're wearing your sweater looks your sweater looks quite festive as opposed to what your team looked like today.
Exactly. That's why I'm wearing it. We were in the festive spirit. We were like, okay, let's not, we go way back with Man United. We can't be just killing you guys every time we come to Anfield. So I was like, okay, let's just celebrate Christmas. Let's share out points. Let's not give you 0 points and 7-0 again. So festive spirit. But to be serious, it was the church carol service today, and the Silent Night was probably the best song of the service. Silent Night. But it was a silent night at Anfield. The fans did not even sing. We were terrible. I know we'll go into the performance, but that was awful. And I mean, if anybody slept off during that match, I don't blame them.
I really don't. Especially the neutrals. But before we go any further, we are on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube at Footy Fantasy, and on Twitter, X. We are Footy AD Fantasy, and on Instagram we are at Fantasy Footy. We also post I guess like summaries of these podcasts that we do every Sunday. That should be up, I guess, within maybe the next 24 to 48 hours. And there are also like match reactions and several other types of analysis that get posted on the YouTube channel and Instagram channel, and I think Twitter as well. But look, let's dive straight into what we just saw today. Before we went live, Chucky was saying that he actually fell asleep, and that game was a snooze fest. It was a bore fest. Not only, and I mean, I will agree with the sentiment that it was a bore fest. But we expected Liverpool to do better. Chucky, did you think we got away with one, or Liverpool were just dead food today?
I think both. I think I've seen preseason games with more intent and vigor. Whatever the heck they offered up to us today. It looked like both teams were kind of tentative. I don't know what's going on with Liverpool. I'll say this based on the evidence of today and being, like I eat up Man United football like almost daily. Has the daily match.
Yeah.
I can tell you this is a very terrible Manchester United team. Like we are in the desert when it comes to the football, right? I don't talk about the Glazers or ownership or drama or other stuff you guys have decided to consume because we're not winning trophies anymore. I'm talking about the football on the pitch is in the desert. Yeah. For a title contender, a trophy contender to come up and offer this, Liverpool should be investigated if they end up winning this trophy at the end of the season.
I agree.
It would be a bigger miracle than raising Lazarus based on.
I agree.
I mean, they're just terrible. I mean, terrible. Chelsea was bad. Chelsea was poor against United. Liverpool was just as poor without conceding goals. For United, I mean, everything they did was kind of what we expected. They showed up without a reliable plan to score a goal. We know that. The surprise, I think, is they showed up with a plan not to concede, which is new this season, right?
Yeah.
Ten Hag going to I don't know if it's the absence of Bruno that forced the hand, and he went to the not just having Mino Amrabat in the middle, but having them stay and protect and shield Evans and Varane. For sure. I mean, people have seen Solskjaer had the same setup. Ragnick came in with a narrow formation and found out very quickly that his ideas were more theoretical when it came to implementing at United. He went back to this double pivot or whatever you want to call it. These two holding eights or two holding sixes. And Ten Hag, after how many games now of trying his suicidal 1 DM and having one 8 and a 10 or 2 10s up high with Bruno and McTominay or sometimes Casemiro. I like to remind people that Casemiro was the highest goal scorer on the team before things went down south with him. Now McTominay just basically took over the mantle, and so it's the same thing, the same plan.
Yeah.
And now we've seen a clean sheet. Liverpool never looked like scoring. So that's, to me, that's the least surprise. I thought we were just going to get to Liverpool based on historical things that happened in other games. I thought we were just going to get massacred at Liverpool, especially knowing that they have to. If they won, they would have topped the table. I thought that was enough motivation, but obviously, I think sleeping pills were probably passed out.
Melatonin MC. Let me take some comments before I come to you, Ola. I don't know who this is. If you're commenting from Facebook, put your name behind your comment. That way we know who you are. I'm happy today. I am happy. I'm happy. Took his face at the chose not to. Maha, Ola feeling the Christian spirit. Yeah, man. Like Santa came early. Higher goals. I think we forget that most Liverpool v Man United games are historically horrible. Well, not the last two. Not the last two. The last few seasons were an anomaly. That's true. All I have, because let me paint. Of course, you know what.
Anomalies are. It's easy to say anomalies, but when do anomalies going to start becoming trends, right?
The trend, exactly.
Exactly. It's an anomaly for Man City to win the treble. Yeah, it's anomaly.
Exactly. So. All the random face comments are from Mr. Zumabachi. Okay, shout out to Zumabachi. I'm glad you're just as happy as I am. I get that Bruno's absence, and I'm gonna go to that point. But Ola, what do you like? Because of course, you know what was going through the heads of us United fans. I personally was just hoping for, for you guys to keep it to 4 goals. That's what I was hoping for. Were you seriously just disappointed at the lack of cutting edge that you guys had today?
It's not the lack of cutting edge. Ayo nailed it. I think maybe because in this era where everything gets blown a lot. Okay, 7-0, yeah, it's a big scoreline, but people just expected United to come there and be slaughtered. I didn't expect that, and I'll tell you the reason why. This Liverpool Man United fixture is one that defies logic a lot of times. There were times when we were really bad under when Ferguson was there, and United were cleaning out title after title. Yeah. But we'll go to Old Trafford, we'll beat you guys coming away, and United will still win the league.
I remember
that's what happened. Now, so conversely, what has happened was, I remember 2 seasons ago, Liverpool won 5-0 at Old Trafford, then won 4-0, and then we were coming to Old Trafford under Ten Hag. Yeah. And everybody was like, oh, we're going to come in there to smash them. Yeah. And what happened? United won. United won when everybody said we were going to smash them. And then the funny thing was, the reverse fixture, United were coming in with confidence to Anfield because Liverpool were really bad at that stage. Like if I can remember before the match, Gary Neville was loading it up. He was like, man, we're coming to Anfield to win. And then you guys lost 7-0. So that's why I didn't go into this match with outrageous confidence. I felt we would win, but I didn't go into it thinking we'll win 3-0. I just felt maybe we will make it 1-0, 2-0. That's what I went into the match with, because Ayo is right. Historically, this fixture it's not a free-flowing game. This fixture is the biggest in English football. So it's usually tight, it's usually edgy. You could see the fans today. Straight away, you could recognize that these guys were thinking, this is United. Even though United are bad, it's still Man United against Liverpool. So the players were a bit edgy. And I think the scoreline from the previous fixture just blew things out of proportion. And people just thought, oh, that's going to happen again. It wasn't going to happen again. So for me, the biggest takeaway was not the lack of cutting edge, it was the lack of composure. It was these players bought into the history of the fixture. And that's a mental block. And that for me is more worrying than the football we played. It was a mental block today. Those players, you can see Salah was not completing 5-yard passes. Soboslai was passing the ball into touch. Every time he got the ball, was passing the ball out. That's our new Steven Gerrard in quotes. He was useless, passing the ball out of play all game. Not only him, many players were just, even Trent, you could see Trent, he was doing crossfield balls straight into touch. It was a mental block today. And that's worrying for me.
When you say mental block, do you mean like they came in there with believing the hype that, United was going to get blown away? Was it like overconfidence? Or
I would hope not. I would hope not. I would hope it was not overconfidence. I think it was more along the lines like because United didn't fold within the first 15 minutes, I think those players started thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those days. I think if we had gotten an early goal, it might have flowed well. I think after the first 15 minutes, when they saw that, oh, United are actually composed there, they're defending well. Actually, you're even carrying a threat. Okay, you didn't have many shots, but United were carrying a threat. I think that started making the players doubt themselves. That, oh, this is not going to be easy. Not because they were overconfident. They just thought maybe, okay, we score first and then to go, and then they couldn't score first, and that was the problem. The biggest issue for me is that we got away with it because I think United could have snuck it. You had a couple of one-on-ones. I think United had clearer one-on-ones than we did.
I'm telling you, Hoyland.
I mean, that one-on-one, he could just have slid it past Alisson, but to be honest, Alisson is good at one-on-ones.
Alisson is one-on-one. He's a good one-on-one goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's good at one-on-ones.
No,
so
you should have not had any kind of fear with one-on-ones when it comes to United. Trust me.
So overall, I'm happy we didn't get beat, but I would have expected 3 points. I think United, people, it's like a wounded animal. Even Klopp said it before the match. It was like, these guys have professional pride. I know we all jest and troll them, but these guys, I'm sure they read some of the stuff we troll them about. No player wants to go there and be 7-0 again. These guys have professional pride. Nobody, even though you guys had a lot of injuries, even the players that like normally won't play, even though they were not there, they didn't play when it was 7-0. But I'm sure they read about it. So they were like, we don't want to go there and get humiliated. So there's professional pride. All said, Liverpool, if we really want to win the league, we should still have tried to get 3 points. But I'm just saying that it doesn't matter because let me give you the final example before you go to the next. When Liverpool won the league 2020, we played 27 matches, won 26 out of the first 27 matches. Which game did we draw? Man United. So that's what I'm saying. That's it. It's just that's the way it is. Historically, that's the way it is. United Liverpool is just a weird fixture. It's not logical. There's no reasoning with it. That's it.
Yeah, Chucky, let me ask you about this. Let me ask you about this comment from Ayo, because I was thinking about that as well while the game was going on. Because I think Amrabat and Kobe Mainoo were immense today. In addition with Varane as well. I thought Varane was our best player, by the way. But do you think that Bruno being absent forced this coach to play that double pivot? Not only play the double pivot, ask them to sit. Because this is my thinking. Without the Bruno Fernandes suspension, we see the same formation, right? We see the same two forward pivots of Bruno and Scott McTominay just flying forward like headless chickens and leaving the DM by himself. Do you think it was a blessing in disguise that Bruno got suspended?
Depends on what you're talking about. So here, there are two things that are evident today. That and the way things play out doesn't mean, what I'm trying to say is that there's causality, right? And what caused Liverpool to play the way they did today might not be a constant if Bruno was there. If Bruno was there, you take the variable Bruno and you just drop him into the United squad today, we might win this.
We might. I agree, yeah.
Today. We might need, but Bruno for United, he's one singular player that basically impacts the architecture of the United squad and how they play, right? He doesn't play possession ball. He's like he's like a NFL quarterback, right? He gets the ball, he slings it, right? So him coming out today and us not having anybody to replace him, Ericsson not in the squad, Mount not in the squad.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a coach decision. He just deploys the resources, and the only resource he has is McTominay. And McTominay is not a Bruno. So therefore, I think the team conforms to the Bruno absence based on their own ability. Mine is never going forward. Amrabat is never going forward. So therefore, now we have a shield, right? Except I see an interview from Ten Hag and say, yeah, I purposely, intentionally told the players to sit in front of my defense. Other than that, I think it's just a very organic fallout of Bruno being into.
Okay, Shuki, let me ask the question another way. Do you think Ten Hag would have played a midfield of Bruno Fernandes, Amrabat, and Kobe Mainoo had Bruno not been suspended? Do you think would have left McTominay out of the squad? I mean, out of the first 11, just to play Amrabat and Kobe Mainoo in front of the defense?
No, he would not. He would not have done that, and the evidence is based on you're fighting for your life in Champions League UCL, which all the sweat, blood, and tears from last season were just to make it the UCL. Yeah. So you have the last game to just kind of win against a team that has already qualified. You show me your best hand, right? And ETH has shown he's been consistent with what his best hand is. His best hand does not include our best number 6, who is Mainoo.
Yeah.
And I think the conflict there is because he's a young player, right?
Yeah.
Mainoo doesn't start this game if Bruno is available. It's going to be Bruno, Amrabat, and McTominay, and we would have conceded goals because we will have that.
I agree.
Now we have a delta. We have a big enough separation in midfield for Liverpool to be comfortable at home and to do whatever they want to do with us, right?
Yeah. Let me just take comments real quick. I think this is Benvindo. Mine goes, no jokes on Onana, Barca youth product today. And this might be Benvindo again. He goes, agreed on Ola's point. From what I saw, there was too much fear from both sides. But once we realized the Scows were every bit as afraid, we dug in, and that's how we feel about it. Okay, maybe this is Suzumabachi. And then he goes again. This is why I'm happy, because it's good response mentally from United. It is good response. It is good response. Yeah, without Bruno, we were devoid of a splitting force, so he would have played. I agree with that on the basis that our sole plan to score would have been passed through Bruno, and as such would have not been defensively resolute. I agree with that. I think he would have played McTominay and Amrabat and Bruno if he was available. He would want another attacking route via McTominay, even if that would have weakened us. That is true. That is 100%. True. Look, I just think today's just further proof that, look, Manchester United is as confused as football teams come. There is no. I can sit here and troll Liverpool about them not scoring or whatever, but the simple fact is, if United knew what if that team knew what it was doing, at least offensively, maybe we could have created some chances or maybe even scored a goal. The front three of Anthony, Garnacho, and Højlund today were absolutely poor. Liverpool did not even bother to defend today. They did not bother to defend, especially when you see the way Trent Alexander-Arnold plays football, right? The man does, and I think it's special, like specific instruction from his coach that, bro, just move into the midfield, create an extra creative source in that midfield. And if any sound footballing team would have taken advantage of Trent Alexander-Arnold today, and we did not do that. Garnacho had, I don't know, maybe 70, 60 something odd minutes to do that. Didn't do shit. Marcus Rashford came in and, nothing happened. Rasmus Højlund, I'm scared. I'm getting worried now for Rasmus Højlund. I posted in the chat the other day. The man is not scoring. He's on the list. He's on the list.
He's missing big chances. Missing a lot of big chances
in the Premier League. He's in the top 5 of most missed big chances in the Premier League. It is December 17th.
Would you expect that from a young player, though? I mean, not to get on the.
No, I hear that. No, I hear that.
A player that's never been in a league like at this level before.
Chucky, I hear it.
I don't know.
Chucky, I
don't know. I don't know about the youth thing. I don't know about the youth thing. Yeah.
Darwin Núñez was also a young player in his first season, right? And
Núñez was 22 when he came, and I understand. Okay, yeah, maybe the reason why I said I don't buy the youth thing is he's scoring goals in the Champions League. So what's the block?
It's different. Okay, let's not do that today. It's different. Champions League football is different from international football. Is different from league football. We all know this. This is a tournament. Ferguson, who plays for Brighton, he's just 19, going to be 20, and he has. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Okay, it's true. Yeah, he's been bred in this league, right? Let's not conflate things. He's been bred. Ferguson didn't come from like Switzerland or anything like that. He's been bred. At
the end of it all, 0 goals, 0 assists in 14 appearances.
Chucky, look, I'm not here bashing.
This happened to Darwin, like when he first came. Like, it wasn't
the
same.
No, he didn't have 0 goals and 0 assists in 14 games.
Not in December. Chucky,
that didn't happen to him.
There's a period when people were questioning his scoring ability, right? Even though he was like scoring boatloads in.
The problem was he was missing a lot of chances, but he was scoring goals. That's the thing. Núñez was scoring goals, but he was missing a lot of good chances. No, I'm not even. Højlund is not the biggest problem you guys have. So, for example, it's not the biggest problem. But I just mean we cannot excuse it simply based on youth, because we've seen young players who score goals.
A young player that just came to this league, that it's a super intense league. That some players take longer than others to bed in. It's not like
fair point. I agree.
I agree. It's okay. I'm just saying that. I'm just trying to make the point that us United fans, maybe we should start, not panicking, but I'm scared. Personally, I'm scared because it is December. There are 14 days left in the year, and my striker has not scored 1 goal or assisted 1 goal in the league. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mentioned those 2 things, even though they might be, they might be controversial, just because I was just quipping, right? Like, if I wanted to go like an in-depth analysis, there are underlying issues there.
There are.
Right?
There
like repeatable, reliable service to a striker. So your striker understands this is something that's going to be happening, very often. And he's not taking, he's not taking bad gambles. The boy has to gamble. Because nothing is like, there's no structure, there's no.
For me, he had the best match. In my opinion, he had the best chance in the game today, and he flopped. And he's in the top. I think it's in the top. Top 5 for big
time player of strikers missing big.
And this is the point. This is the point when it comes to repeatability and reliability. He's missing these big chances like somebody that's not used to getting these big chances.
I agree with you, Chucky. And in fact, the fact that McTominay is present in that team and is playing so high up might be affecting Højlund's goal scoring ability. Maybe that's the thing. But I'm just saying, as a United fan who is in the absolute mud this season, watching my striker with 14 days left in the year have 0 goals and 0 assists, bro, I'm scared. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm scared. That's all.
No Manchester United striker. I'm talking about young and just came to the league. Martial has been there for 30 years.
Oh,
he scored 1 league goal. We have 1 striker on record that scored a league goal. 1 goal, and that's Martial. So there's an issue that is very structural, right?
It is structural. But anyway, look, I just want to hammer on the point that last season when we held 7 at Anfield, people were going into that game. United fans were going into that game. Even Liverpool fans too. I heard Liverpool fans telling us that, look, we're scared of what Ten Hag is building at Manchester United.
Yeah,
they were scared. They were genuinely scared. They thought we're gonna go there, maybe not absolutely cook them, but at least show up and rock things at Anfield. And today, I mean, nobody expected anything less than a 2-3-0 loss for Manchester United today. And the way things look, the Bible says God uses the stupid things of the world to confound the wise. There is no better example of that today. Uses the weak things of the world to confound the strong. Bruv, I am over here preaching. I'm preaching on a Sunday. I didn't even go to church. I didn't even go to church, but I'm just grateful. I'm just happy that I do not get to go to bed today with depression on my mind. I'm grateful that I'm not over here just, cussing out players and cussing out the coach, even though I think even though I don't, believe in this coach anymore, I'm just glad I'm not sitting here pissed and absolutely fuming.
That's why I said I'm happy.
Where's Linger? Hold on, I have a question. Where's Linger? Where's Linger in the chat? Where are you? Scouts lady, where are you at? Where are you at? Now, where this man? Seriously. I'm representing
Scouts. Look at me in the festive jumper.
Let them come and represent themselves.
That's what I'm saying. We were in the festive spirits. We just felt like, look, we can't let you guys keep suffering. Let's just share this point. Let us all be happy. One love, peace and harmony, all of that, But tactically, I want to point out some things. Klopp, because it's easy to talk about Ten Hag. I said, oh, you should have done this. I thought that Klopp didn't cover himself in glory today. When the game was still in balance, when the game was still in balance, in glory, no, he made a couple of errors. When the game was in the balance, he took out one of our midfielders and went 4-4-2.
Who did he take out?
So we had Trent and Endo in the middle, and then put Gomez at right back. And that period, even on the commentary, the 15 minutes or so in that period, that was when United were at their most dangerous, because we had gaps in midfield. You guys were just running through us, creating true passes. And it took him a while to figure out that, oh, look, 15, 20 minutes of this is going bad. We could lose this. So that's when he now brought Curtis Jones and Elliott on to tidy up that midfield. I don't think he put Gakpo on the right. Gakpo doesn't normally play on the right. Last season, Gakpo scored twice against United, playing off from the left. I don't know what he was thinking, putting Gakpo on the right. That was a bad decision. So I think, what's he saying? I think people were saying that, there was fear. I wouldn't go as far as saying fear. I just think United created doubts in our minds. I know you guys were going to sit back. Everybody knew United were going to sit back. But we couldn't pass. It was so bad. We couldn't pass 5 yards to each other. Salah that can control the ball with his eyes closed. He could not control the ball. It was just so bad. So I just think it's one of those, like how you have said, this kind of fixture, Man United, Liverpool, there's no logic to it. We were going in as favorites. We didn't win. Last season, United were coming in as favorites. We lost 7-0. When we went to Old Trafford as favorites, we lost. Heavy. Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's no logic to this. It's just one of those. We just have to write it off and just take the point, because I am happy for you, Oga Kwame, that you're in a good mood. Celebrating a 0-0 win is always awesome. Fair play to you. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Have some water. No 7-Up today. Water.
Yeah, bro, no 7-Up. No 7-Up today. I'm drinking water, bro. That 0-0 win. You know what? I'm telling you right now, that is probably our best result this season. So far.
Of course. You're the first team that came to Anfield without defeat.
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? This season we haven't drawn a game. We haven't drawn a game this season until today.
Yeah.
The one game we're supposed to lose heavily is the one game we ended up drawing. Look, don't tell me God is not good. Don't tell me God is not good. Chucky, who would you say? Of course, it was I think it was a solid defensive performance from Rafa Varane today. I think he put in a hell of a shift. Who would you say was our best player on the United side?
Varane stands out for me just because he hasn't been in the team for reasons that hasn't really been explained. The coach has explained it, but it doesn't make any sense based on everything we've just seen. It's totally contradictory to everything he's ever put out there. So I'll put that aside. He did well, but first of all, he did well against Bayern as well. So this is
he did. He did well against Bayern too. Yes.
So, but Liverpool didn't offer that much, right? But I'll put him there. I think, to me, what made a difference was Mino, right? Yeah. Having him there made it set just as Bruno sets the architecture of how the team will play. Mino set the architecture of how the team will play by being disciplined and sitting deep. Not that he sat there the entire time, but being disciplined in that first phase of play. I think he made a difference there. But as far as performance-wise, Varane impact, I'll say Maino.
Maino
For me easily.
Ola, Ola, do you think it was a penalty against Luke Shaw?
The one that came off his hand. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say I think it was a penalty. I wouldn't say I think it was a penalty. I've seen them give it. So that's the problem.
In Champions League.
Let's sorry.
In Champions
I've seen them given.
Oh, Champions League, that's a pen. Champions League, that's a pen.
Even the Premier League, I've seen a couple given like that in the Premier League. So it's crazy. I wouldn't even go there. We didn't deserve a penalty, to be honest. I mean, we didn't play well enough to even deserve that call. Yeah. And let's address this Michael Oliver thing. I feel it's like an example of why I always say these guys are arrogant for nothing. This referee. What's that all about? Why are you giving this guy 2 yellow cards?
No.
For what? Yeah. For what? Yeah. Okay, he was angry. Players are entitled to be angry. It was not even a throw-in for Liverpool. It was a throw-in for Man United. So why are you giving him 2 yellow cards? And this happened 2 weeks ago for Lewis Dunk against Brighton. 2 yellow cards within a few seconds. Yeah. These referees are incompetent. And I'm going to go on a rant about referees again. I'm sorry. But they're just terrible. All of them are terrible. They're woeful. And they want respect. They'll say, oh, we don't want dissent. If you do your job properly, people will respect you. You guys are not doing your job properly. So why are you giving? Do you know the total amount of red cards this season? We've exceeded for last season.
We've exceeded the whole of last season.
One third of the way through the season, we've exceeded total number of red cards compared to the total last season. Because our web came in this season and said, oh, crack down on dissent. We don't want dissent. You don't want dissent, but you're still terrible at your jobs. Yeah. You don't want players to give out to you. Van Dijk, for example, he got a red card against Newcastle. He said, oh, effing joke. Next thing, they added one extra game ban just for that. Bam, on top of his head. Extra game, just because he said effing joke. He didn't even say this referee is an effing joke. He just said the decision is an effing joke. Bam, red, extra game ban. It's crazy. What are these guys doing? They're so arrogant and pompous. What's he giving that red card to Dalot for? Why? 94th minute. The game is even almost over. The game is almost over. What are you doing that for? Yeah. It's crazy. No, they are terrible. They get worse each year, but they still want respect. How does that work? It doesn't work.
They get worse that way. Adding more regulations. Like it just makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. All I say is the rant, but my brother is not around, man. You're like 100% spot on. Like it makes zero sense. Like the pressure cooker of this very, very commercialized league, where they've added games and these players are tired. They're tired. In December, and they're already tired. They play,
and they're adding like 10 minutes extra to games.
Exactly. They're playing excessive amount of games, and this guy just busted a gut chasing, I don't remember, Salah, right? Chasing Salah. Yeah. And did what he needed to do. And felt, I mean, that's just like venting at that point. Let the player vent, right? Let the player vent. That's just energy being released. That's all it has. There's nothing personal.
Yeah.
Right? Give him the yellow, boom, 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 let's go. But no, ego, right?
Ego.
Yeah. That's the whole point of this the whole underlying issue around this what they call dissent is ego.
It's ego.
What's dissent? Why is dissent bad? What is dissent? Dissent is basically, hey, I don't agree with what you just said. What's wrong? That's human nature. Right?
Yeah.
We can disagree and move on. What do you make land down like some kind of dictate? Get that thing out of here.
Yeah. And they're doing to the managers too. They're doing to the managers. They're giving managers are missing games now this season. Arteta has missed a game. I think Klopp has missed. He has collected 3 yellow cards. The Brighton manager has missed. The managers are missing games because they're
I saw Emery get a yellow card earlier today for trying to stop a fight. Like what? How?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like another game within the other game. Like it has nothing to do with what's really going on the pitch. So why introduce? Like we don't need the soap opera. Like we don't. There's enough soap opera on the field. Like you don't need to create this next level of, blah blah blah. And this.
Tenaga even missed the game too.
Tenaga,
right. This is specifically this dissent. This is the reason why I hate this one. This is specifically between the refs and everybody else on that pitch, whether it's the manager, coaches, and players. It has nothing to do with the game. Yeah, I mean, it might have something to do with the game, but other than that, the direct impact on the game is zero. It's just literally how the ref feels. Like, I don't like how that player or how that manager.
Now we're giving yellow cards. Now we're giving yellow cards because the ref feelings are hurt. That's it.
Yeah, ego. Like took his head. Ego.
Yeah.
Ego.
I don't get it.
Before we start talking about
disagree
Champions
with it.
League, let me take comments before we start talking about Champions League. So Dio goes, Bruno is a creative player, but not very hardworking, not a runner.
Oh wow, that's totally wrong.
Today you needed hardworking players, so it wasn't a Bruno type game. There are many games you'll need his vision and creativity. I do not agree with that, Dio. I don't agree with that. So Zimbabwe goes, we don't have kind of sticky, aggressive players to unsettle someone like Trent. And that's sad because he is not extremely press resistant. Well, it's sad for multiple reasons. Balls joined. Ayo goes, Haaland has been underwhelming, but our attacking play has been very, very poor. Facts. He goes further and says, we also do not play to his strengths. Okay.
Facts.
Let's not talk about his strengths. I don't even know what the man's strength is. I guess he's a powerful runner. That's it. Suzuma Bachi goes, I'm not scared about the resource. Haaland is not a terrible striker, I feel. He just has no support, no regular creative supply. What worries me is how Dude's confidence will be. Man, either way, I think we aren't good for Dude right now. Suzuma Bachi goes again. Now we need them to come and spread chess like they were earlier this week. Queen and bad scouts. That's true. I agree. Where's Lingard spreading chess now? Where's your little club fan or whatever? Where's Lingard? Yeah, where's Lingard? Somebody please call 911. Somebody call 911. Somebody put out an Amber Alert because Lingard has apparently been kidnapped. We don't know where she is. She's
please leave the cow screen out of this, man. Yeah. Please.
Shout out to Delo and Varane, Screw M. Oliver, facts. We had 10 players out. Zumabachi again. LMAO today is enough to make an agnostic like me a believer. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. It's between Varane and Menu for me. Like the essence of leave it all out there. True. Talking about man of the match. 0-0 in Anfield without Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I wouldn't say much. Ayo, don't even go there. Let's not do that. Ayo, let's not do that. Nah, bro, let's not do that. Have some shame. That is never a pen. His hands were not outside his natural silhouette, which is the law.
There's no law. There's no law about
Ten Hag has missed a game. So yeah, he has missed a game. He missed the Everton game, I believe. Okay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, let's talk about Champions. Let's talk about Champions League. Well,
don't shame me now. I was not in Champions
League.
I was saying night before. Why are you asking me to comment on Champions League? Please, you don't want to shame me.
Ayo has to be trolling us, bro. Ayo has to be.
He's trolling me. Ayo is trolling me. Why is he putting me to talk about Champions League?
but who to you Tricky would who would you say is your most impressive team in the Champions League this season so far?
Oh, to me, impressive team. I don't know about impressive team. I'll say impressive result, Dortmund. To top that, their group is just interesting and just something I didn't expect at all. I would say they might even be a dark horse. I know we're about to talk about dark horses, but that result is just that's outstanding, right? If you look at all the teams that top their groups, they're the ones that kind of stand out. I'm like, I wonder how they got there.
I agree.
I mean, they're a team that could have won their league, but they remind me of Spurs. They have this bottling spirit that kind of hovers.
That's one bottling company.
It's just, it's probably recycling, like earth-friendly bottling company.
Exactly.
Going on
climate change FC.
I like Dortmund. It's like my second team. Like I know that Ayo's second team as well, but Ayo kind of probably follows them more closely than I do. The other team I think that did really well was Copenhagen.
Copenhagen? Yeah.
Yeah. They did well. For the team their size, for their resources, oh my.
Yeah.
Goodness. They did very well. But, they're in the same group with United, so, that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
So.
Courtesy of Onana. They did well.
Ola, who's your own standout team?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at Real Sociedad. To be honest, I didn't even know they topped their group. I just checked their group and I was like, wow, Real Sociedad topped their group ahead of Inter and Benfica.
Yeah.
Fair play. And I think that's one of the reasons where the Premier League probably getting worried because of these coefficients. Because the Spanish teams, I can see Atletico Madrid top their group, Real Madrid top their group.
Yeah.
So that's 3 Spanish teams right away that top their group. Barcelona top their group. 4 La Liga teams top their group. So this is where the coefficient problem is coming in, because unfortunately it's like maybe Liverpool and Brighton and the other guys have to try and rescue England's coefficient, because United and Newcastle managed to dump it in the bin. Because I'm looking at the coefficient points now. Serie A is ahead of Serie A and Bundesliga ahead of Premier League, which means it's dicey for that 5 spots. The top 5 spots is dicey now. It will require maybe Man City winning the Champions League or Liverpool going.
Yeah, maybe you guys can win. Maybe you guys can win the Europa League. That way you can,
We'll do it for you. We'll do it for the culture.
Thank you, my brother.
We'll do it for the culture. We'll save you. So at least you can finish 5th and come to the Champions League and crash out again next season.
Exactly.
So that's what we'll do. Yeah. So we'll do it for you. But in answer to your question, Real Sociedad, they really. I didn't know the top their group until I looked at it this evening. And that's impressive, because I'm not sure anybody would have fancied them to finish ahead of Inter and Benfica.
Yeah.
I forgot about them. Correct.
I agree. Who would you guys say is the player of the group stage?
For me, is the one and only Rasmus Højlund. Because I mean, the guy's just a magician in this UCL. Like, he just turning water into wine, feeding up scraps, or feeding him like a abandoned dog, and he's like, turning into a feast, basically. I think he's done really well. I mean, this is kind of why we thought we brought someone like him, because his profile was like similar to like this tall traditional 9. We were trying to go after Kane, not affordable, because Levy was never going to make him available to any Premiership league without a king's ransom. So he comes in, and he shows like, in the league I'm not doing anything, but on the world stage, which is the European stage. Sorry, football, not the world, just Europe. On the European stage, that I have arrived. And that United team did not prioritize him. They didn't prioritize how he played. They didn't prioritize his strengths. They didn't do nothing, but he was able to put product out on the street. The guy can be a drug dealer probably. So I'll say Rasmus Højlund, because they obviously have a big bias as well.
I mean, my play of the tournament of the group stage, has to be Andre Onana, bro. Like, the kind of ability you have to have to single-handedly remove your team from a whole competition. You know what's crazy? What's crazy about it? This is why I say it's play of the group stages. This is why. Like, the one game that Manchester United won in the group stage, it was down to him saving a last-minute penalty.
Yeah.
And then again by himself, now removes the same team from the competition. You couldn't make this shit up. It's like building a sandcastle with your hands and then destroying the same sandcastle with your feet. It's crazy. It's wild. So shout out to the man, bro. Shout out to the man. I'm looking forward to how we cope when it goes to Nations Cup. But anyway, Ola, who's your own player of the group stages?
Well, Jude Bellingham. I mean, he has stepped up for Madrid. Of course, it's Madrid, so you would always expect them to have players who thrive in that kind of condition. But I mean, that guy is just owning everything there. Just took on that number 5 shirt. I don't know. I'm filled with pain saying it, because Liverpool were tracking this guy for ages. Like, just toasting him and saying, we're just winking at him, flirting at him. Man, my guy just was stringing us along. And the next thing we just see him, we see him chilling in the villa in Madrid. Like, oh wow, how did that happen? So it's painful, but
Liverpool were chasing Instagram baddie.
Instagram baddie, man. He did Instagram baddie. I feel so bad. Because
it's long throat syndrome, man.
Long throat syndrome.
Monitoring
FC.
And this was not even just monitoring. No. We were even sending our players to tap him up. We were sending the players Trent.
I remember Henderson at the World Cup. Remember
Henderson and Trent. They were tapping him up. They were taking him out. They were taking him for coffee.
I heard you guys WhatsApp group. He already joined Liverpool.
Sorry.
I said I heard that he already joined
the WhatsApp group.
That's what I mean. I think I was just bringing us. When I said he was bringing us along, I wasn't joking. I was not joking. He was bringing us along. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming." Next thing we just saw him in Hola. He was saying Hola in Spain. I was like, "Oh wow, gracias, bye bye." Anyway, but I think he has been very good in this Champions League. But I mean, it's not none of my business. I mean, the only reason why I'm just a bit interested in Champions League was the teams that are dropping out, coming into our Europa. I don't want them to come and complete our journey to that trophy. So please, they just knock themselves out.
No, please. I think the only team that could potentially mess up your Europa, maybe AC Milan. I mean, but then I don't even think AC Milan is strong enough to stop you guys from winning the Europa League. You know.
And I have to praise God. Sevilla are out. They're not even there.
Oh, Sevilla finished Europa.
Bottom.
No,
they finished bottom. Wow. Thank God for little Messi.
Thank God, dude. Thank God, dude.
They finished bottom of their group.
If they have made mistake to drop in, it's over, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was over. If they had dropped it, they were winning it. That's it. It's over.
It is written. Yeah.
How about dark horses, Chucky? I know you were gonna mention maybe Dortmund as a shout for dark horse status.
No, Dortmund they have the backbone to be a dark horse. I'll say Atletico Madrid.
Atletico.
You need to be feisty, nice, nasty, and have the belief that you can do it. Atletico Madrid is an interesting team. They always form like their big team. They've won La Liga, so I don't know if that's. I like La Liga, but I don't know what that means or how it translates anyway. Right? They won La Liga, but I never look at them and say, "Oh my God, look at this team that they're going to do something interesting or something very impactful on the field." So they have big belief, and it might come from their leader, like their manager, just his personality. So that might be an issue. But sometimes, and they have some silky players now. Before they were just like industrial grade razor blade.
Yeah.
Now they have some finesse in the mix. So I'll say that's the best bet. I'd love to say Dortmund because I love Dortmund. I just know they're a bit of biscuit bone, man.
Dortmund are made of plastic. When it's time to be tough, they break.
Exactly, just kind of break away. I don't know what's up with that, but they might surprise folks. Let's see. They top their group. We'll see. But if I was going to choose right now, I'll take steel versus the biscuit. I'll take Atletico Madrid.
I'm putting Inter in the shout. Just because Inter they have that steel that you talk about, Chucky. And they may not have the finesse. They may not have the kind of finesse that people like Manchester City will play with, or even the Barcelona type of teams will play with. But they have enough going forward. I trust Lautaro Martinez to deliver when it's time to. And Marcus Thuram he's putting in a heck of a shift. So I'll put them as maybe a possible dark horse. And
they don't have Onana. They don't have Onana though.
And they don't have Onana. But
what you mean?
The disrespect. This guy was Champions League goalkeeper of the tournament last year.
No, he was. No. The point I'm trying to make is they don't feel the absence of Onana though. They don't feel his absence.
Yeah.
Young Summer is fits like a glove into that team. It's
this came to my mind. I'm just gonna shout out. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. That AC Milan goalkeeper, man.
Maignan? He is.
Yeah.
Yes. I like him.
That guy is a straight up stand-up guy, man. Shout out to my
Yeah. And his hairline is always on point too.
That always helps.
Yeah.
But look, my own dark horse. Yeah. The elephant that is lonely at the top. You guys are underrating them. Just wait. It's true that they've never won this competition. But I think they're going far this time. I'm not even messing. I'm not joking. I think they will go far. People are just because they have that spine now. They have that spine, and I think because they're probably going to get a striker, in January. I can feel it coming because they already said want to sell in Ketia, and I think maybe Ivan Tony or maybe somebody.
Oh, okay.
And if they get that striker, that's it. I feel they'll be in the final. Of course, I'll still love to throw them. I'll still like to see the elephant fall from wherever, from 50 stories high, or wherever they're sitting on. But I just think they'll go far this year. There's something about that team now. They're grinding out wins. They have more steel. Like Chiki was saying, they have steel. They have steel now. They're not flaky like before. I hope they prove me wrong, but I just think they're going far. I think they're going far this time.
I just want to tell you, my brother, Ola, that this time in April, maybe towards the end of April, you and I will sit down on this same podcast and cook EJ. Absolutely. I'm telling you.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Okay. Let's move to the next topic. We have about, I'll say, 10 minutes left on the podcast. Potter to Manchester United. Ola, as an outsider looking in, even though you want us to fail, what do you think of this? Because let me just I do not think Ten Hag is up to scratch. I think he's out of his depth. But Potter, bro.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's coming to wave a magic wand and just do trophyalists. So just leave trophies. I'm to just be rising every season. I don't know. But I think it was just rumor. I mean, let me just ask us, because you guys follow your club more closely. Is the speculation? Is it founded speculation? Is it something that you think has traction?
Let me put some context behind it. I think that, and Chukwuka, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a point where the leadership at Nice was looking at Graham Potter as a coach for that team. Mm-hmm. I think he was at Brighton then. It didn't work out, so it didn't happen. And then one of the like maybe director of football candidates or somebody that is supposed to be in a leadership position picked by Jim Ratcliffe was, I think, at Brighton at some point. And that person worked with Graham Potter. So, like, the links are there. There's history between the Ineos group and Graham Potter and, whoever
Ineos also
ahead
had
of
Ten Hag on the list.
Say that again?
Ineos also had their admin group is just doing basically due diligence on these coaches, right? They have contingency plans in case like coaching, like current coaches or managers don't work. So they have like contingency plan of who they lined up, who they're interested in. And they look for generally, I would say young, but young is part of it. Not overly exposed. You can tell most of the people they like are people that are not overly, they don't look for Ancelotti or Mourinho or not overly exposed, but they want people that have this tact for more modern implementation, right?
Yeah.
So Ten Hag is there and Potter is there, and they are. And Potter has to be on the list. Why not? He's because one failure doesn't define. Like we're done of those days on Fergie and Wenger, when a manager came in, you give them one chance, and what's the guy from Chelsea that came in and Villas-Boas?
Oh, Villas-Boas,
or whatever his name was. Yeah, people like that they just give one chance or a couple. I think went to Spurs as well. A couple of chances, and you kind of discard them. So I don't think you discard Potter, but it is. I don't think it's a great fit personally. And anyway, I'm different from Oga Kwame. Like, I'm not in the camp of a manager has a bad season, get rid of him. Like, those days for me are gone. Like, they're way gone, totally gone. Like, in fact, to be in that era is to be in dreamland, right? And this is still the remnants of Alex Ferguson being that dominant in his era, right? You used to scratch all that, like just like it never happened, even though it did happen. You need to proceed like it never happened. In this era, what makes sense, right? We can't keep on gambling that if we bring in a manager, he might hit pay dirt. It's just not going to work because there's a group called the Glazers, and they own United. whether they own them 100% or not, they're about to maybe give 25% off. Either way, they are majority owners of United, and there's the way they work. There's no manager on earth that can come in, work under those conditions, and produce like premium output. It's just not going to happen.
But is that not why? Is that not why allegedly the Radcliffe gang are coming in to sort out the football side of things? Because I mean, we all understand the Glazers have that influence, but the Glazers too now know that okay, we are messing up the football side of things. Let's just hand it over to Radcliffe. And if it's so, then this Potter link, I don't think he has a personality for a club like United. To be honest, I don't think he has a force of personality. I'm not doubting his coaching ability. I just think Man United is such a big club. You need that force of personality. I think Ten Hag has it, but I think Ten Hag has it in an extreme way. Like he has that force of personality, but he is so unforgiving. Like, look, if you mess up, you're out. So Potter might probably coach better than Ten Hag, but Potter I don't think has the force of personality to handle the club of United size. That's my opinion from a neutral view. And
yeah, so I'll have two things there. Like Ten Hag, I do agree with Ten Hag's village headmaster stick is just like overplayed. Like I'm done with it anyway. I mean, it was exciting because you want the players to get some fire, but after a while, you just kind of was like, it's clearly not working.
And Tuki, it's not even only the village headmaster thing. My thing is you can be heavy-handed, but you cannot be heavy-handed and not be even-handed. You know, and I don't think Ten Hag has shown enough even-handedness.
That's a very good point. No balance there. Totally good. The second thing, a lot of the asterisks, the biggest asterisks ever that you will ever see is all the contextual nuances that will be involved in this Radcliffe 25% acquisition of equity. We don't know what that means. We don't know. So who's going to be providing the transfer kitty? Is it him? Will he be giving us now our transfer budget? Like, here, take. We don't know what it means. So
we don't.
Till we get some clarification. They haven't even announced that they've ratified their.
We have not even announced exactly. It's not official.
Yeah.
This mixture, and what's the mixture going to be? Like, I don't want to get like I'm not a merger and acquisition. I've dabbled in M&A. But this A shares and B shares. What does that mean with the complexity of not just the Glazer guys, the whole family that owns shares there? What does that mean? So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's coming in. You're coming into this big question mark on how you're going to operate your environmentals, how you're going to be supported, how your vision is going to be supported. Period. Yeah. So it's just not, to me, it's still very cloudy.
Yeah. Let me take a comment from Prince AY. What a mighty God I serve. My brother Kwame has a renewed look to life. Good to see you smiling, even if not budget smile. Get out of here, bro. I hate you.
Don't worry, they are coming to Anfield next Sunday. Next Saturday.
Leave out. I mean, look, I'm on the whole part of thing. Honestly, even I'm confused, and I don't think there's any United fan out there who is not as confused or even more confused than I am. I'm not gonna lie. When Ten Hag came, he was our god. He was supposed to be the guy that would transform this football club and get us playing football. And it's just not happening, So my thing is, we're operating from a place of fear, sadness, and lack of understanding. So I just know how I feel about the manager. I know the manager is not making me feel happy. He's not giving me what I thought he would give me. And even though I want him out, I know that it's going to be disastrous if we get this guy out and get somebody. It's like I'm in a very conflicted place right now as a United fan. And it's just chaos all over the place. And I don't think any United fan can say specifically with certainty what the problem is at Manchester United. You ask any Manchester United fan, what is the problem with your club? And the answer is everything. That was the answer 2 years ago. Like, how are we still in the same place? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You said 100% correct. That is we're in the same.
Yeah.
That answer is the same.
Yeah.
Answer 2 years ago, no doubt, no question. And that's why I'm here. Like, I've been really early. Like, I'm going to pat myself on the back because of just the high emotional intelligence here. I've been early in saying, like, when they were trying to sack Solskjaer, it was terrible. It was like that part when it looks like there's a player mutiny. You felt like players weren't playing for the manager anymore. It felt terrible. But I knew behind that, because of what now we know about the Glazers, I knew behind that there was no redemption. There's no outlet there. That the most you get is a bump from a new person, and you get back to the same environmental. That's it.
That is it. And that's and no United fan can, refute that point you just made, Chucky, that you get any new blood in right now, and the best you get is a bounce at best. That's it. And then it just goes flat again after maybe a year and a half or so. So anyway, did you get to look at the thread that EK and created second Ten Hag's solution? The rabbit's hole goes deeper than that. Yeah. We need to wrap this up, so let's just go ahead and do our kudos and donkey of the week. Kudos, Ola, let's start with you. Kudos.
Jeez, I don't think I'm prepared for this. I know my donkey. But man, kudos. Who do I want to give kudos to? Let's see. Can you come back to me? I have donkey. Donkey is in my head, but I don't have kudos.
So kudos.
I know your donkey is Ola, by the way. Well, go ahead. What's your kudos?
Kudos for me is that I don't know their names, so forgive me. The female referee that took their first, the first female referee to.
What game was that?
Officiate in, I don't even know. I just saw the news yesterday. to officiate in the Premier League, and with her, I think the second black referee.
Yeah.
In the last 15 years. Yeah.
Like in the last almost double 2 decades or something like that.
Yeah.
So whoever they are, congratulations. You guys are trailblazers and pathfinders for all that, all those that will follow behind you. And it's just crazy to think about that. Like the female one is a man's game, so I get the integration might be slower. But to have a person of color not to officiate the game in almost 20 years is
almost 20 years. That's crazy.
Like that means you don't have a pipeline. You don't have a diversity pipeline.
There's no pipeline, exactly. There's no pipeline.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah.
So bad.
So those are my kudos.
I honestly didn't prepare for kudos today either. But I saw Dele Alli went back to training for the first time since, so
cool.
Just wish
we wish him well.
I know it's for Everton, so all that does it. But shout out to
Is he still with Everton? He's in talking now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What is with Everton?
Is that Everton? Is it Everton?
Oh, he's on loan. He's on loan in Turkey. Is he on loan in Turkey? Or is he?
No, he's back
I don't even know.
Now. He's back in Everton.
So he's back in Everton, but he has not played for them.
Yeah. He's in. I saw pictures with Amadou Onana, shaking hands with him, and Sean Dyche as well. So big up to him. Hopefully he comes back, and gets some joy.
He's back. He's back in training with Everton.
Oh, cool. My kudos. Well, I mean,
go ahead, your donkey.
Oh no, actually, I have kudos now because I thought the results earlier, and it also ties in with something Prince A was saying. Shout out to our Liverpool women who did what the men uselessly could not do today. Thank you, Liverpool women, for beating Man United. We should have gotten 3 points. The Premier League, the men version. The ladies are doing well. From this perspective, they just got promoted, I think, last season, and they're way behind Arsenal, Chelsea, United. They were underfunded for so long. They didn't have their own training ground. They didn't start playing in the stadium. They've been
Liverpool women?
Yeah, Liverpool women. They didn't have the training ground until this season, and they were underfunded. Like that's what we say when we talk about our own owners, and we say, "Oh, these guys are also a bit as bad as Glazers." We know what we're saying because the owners sold their training. They sold Melwood, and they went to buy it back under pressure and bought it back and said, "Okay, let's buy it and give it to the women's team." And they bought it at a loss. They sold it and bought it back at a loss. So that's one of the things the media won't hear about that, of course. But Liverpool are doing well. When you're doing well, it covers a multitude of sins.
It does.
So they have their own shortcomings too. It's not like they're very bad, but they have their own sins. So but that I digress. The ladies team for Liverpool, the ladies team for Liverpool FC. They beat Man United 2-1 today. Fair play to them. I think they're in the top 4 now. I usually watch their highlights. Unfortunately, we don't get to see lots of their matches on TV, but shout out to them. Kudos.
Okay. Donkey.
Referees.
Yeah.
The PGMOL, Howard Webb, all of them. Sorry, I'm going to slam them. I'm going to slam them again. He came on the screen recently. He has this program they do on Sky Sports. They call Mike Talk. So Michael Owen, of all people, is presenting it. Why did they bring Michael Owen? The dullest, blandest man you can find, who is a wallflower, is the one presenting that show. This is somebody who will not question Howard Webb. So of course they handpicked the easiest person to present it. So you ask Howard Webb, "Oh, Howard Webb, what do you think about this decision?" Howard Webb will explain. Michael Owen will say, "Oh, that's fine." He will not kick back. Wallflower. So this guy, he comes on this show almost every couple of weeks. They do some decisions. They'll say, "Oh, this is why we did this. This is why we did that." Justify themselves. They rarely say they are wrong. But occasionally they will say, "Okay, in the Man City game, he said, oh, we got that wrong. The offside that was put, the advantage play that was put back. He said, oh, the referee got that wrong." But the funny thing is, the referee got that wrong. Erling Haaland went into the referee's face and was screaming at him. Did they ban him? No. Did he get sent off? No. Nope. Diogo Dalot did something that is way less today. He got 2 yellow cards within 2 seconds.
Yep.
Is that not what we're saying? That shows how bad they are.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep slamming them until they improve. And this stupid dissent respect campaign has to stop. How can you have more red cards at this stage, 1/3 of the way through the season than you had last season? That means we're on track for over 100 red cards this season.
And remember we took a break for World Cup last season.
Exactly. Like, what's happening? No, they are donkeys and they'll keep on being donkeys until they improve. This ego that Chucky mentioned is true. They need to check their ego. I don't get where the arrogance is coming from. You guys are not good at your job, so why are you arrogant? Why do you have an ego?
You have no right to be arrogant.
You have no right to be arrogant. Where is this ego coming from? Do your job properly, and then people will respect you. Yeah. Simple.
Yeah, I agree. Let me take some comments, Juki, before I come to your. We'll close out with your donkey. Let me just. Olga, I'm so miserable. You might as well call me Olga Kwame. Whatever. I don't know. I think that's Linger. She's just hiding her face. Prince White, Crystal Palace getting a point from City, being 2 goals down. Another one is Spurs ladies finally getting a win over Arsenal after 8 attempts. Oh wow, kudos. Yeah, shout out there, man. Zumabachi Haraman, I'm here. Congrats. I think Linger is announcing herself.
Yeah.
Kudos, Victor Osimhen and Asisa Toshoala. Yes.
Yeah.
Big up to those two. Yep. Prince White, donkey equals Bruno Fernandes for running away from this game. What a petulant P word. Wow. Whatever. Donkey, the club owner who suck up on the ref in Turkey. Yo, that was crazy.
That was bad. No, we don't advocate violence. We know they are bad referees, but we don't advocate violence.
Come on now. Yeah. We seriously underfunded them. They went down when our man won the Linger.
Liverpool ladies team. Yeah. The owners underfunded them.
They went down.
We won the league twice, back to back, and then they underfunded them, and then Liverpool got relegated. The ladies team got relegated. Yeah. So that's what I mean. I understand why I'm giving them kudos, because they came back from so way back, like from the bottom. They came from the bottom. So. Yeah.
Donkey, Ten Hag for making up with Varane. Horrible to see that sexy guy back on the pitch, Linger. Oh, so Linger, you decided to come out now at the end of the show, huh? You decided to come out at the end of the show. At least you showed up better than your team. Get out of here. It was obviously me. I would never hide. Okay, Chucky, let's close out with you. Who's your donkey?
I love the people I mentioned. Really, I mean, they already mentioned most of my donkeys. It was either Michael Oliver or Bruno. Because that was very intentional for him to skip the game. You can't tell me.
You thought it was intentional?
You can't convince me, like, because there was no. He was overdoing it. Come on, bro. I mean, he was overdoing it. It was at the end of the game. You could see, the referee didn't get the bait. The referee was like, "Yeah, I'm not listening to it." He just kept on pushing, like, "You must recognize him."
The man is like, "I don't want to hold 7."
It was super intentional. This didn't want any part of that Liverpool game. So Ben Michael Oliver is like big donkey, man. Like big donkey. That's when you have your ego and your emotions right in front of you, and you're trying to protect it and prove a point. But everything all I said was on point, except when he was bashing a United legend in.
Howard West.
Oh my god!
Please, please.
Other than that, everything was
That's a good one. That's a good one. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining us on this Footy Fantasy podcast. Again, we're at YouTube at Footy Fantasy. We're on Twitter at Footy AD Fantasy, and on Instagram we're at Fantasy Footy as well. Shout out to everybody who joined us in the comment. Linger, thank you for joining us in the comment. Even though I'm not buying this whole brunch thing, you're a donkey for that. Going to brunch when your team lost. But anyway, Prince AY, thanks for joining us. This is Mabachi, Ayo, Chucky, thank you for joining this Sunday. And
my pleasure.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was more fun that I didn't hold 7. So it's a good Sunday. But anyway, guys,
Festive spirit.
Merry Christmas, joy to the world. Ho, 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 everybody. All right. See you guys.
See you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.